Dear friends, in this video, we'll talk about the performance of North Korean forces in supporting Russia's invasion of Ukraine. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. To understand the presence of North Korean soldiers in Ukraine, we first need to understand the role of the army in North Korea. With about 1.4 million members, it is one of the largest conventional armed forces on the planet and has been an essential pillar of the regime since its creation. During the reign of Kim Jong-un, the father of Kim Jong, the Sungun or military-first policy made the army central to the survival of the North Korean Communist Party. This means that the country's resources, such as food and fuel, already limited for the civilian population, are prioritized for the armed forces. In North Korea, the army is not just a defensive force. It also performs economic functions, operating mines, industries, and even smuggling activities. This duality reflects how the regime uses military resources to maintain power and finance its ambitions. And now, in 2024, in an unprecedented move, Kim Jong-un has sent over 12,000 soldiers to fight alongside Russian forces in Ukraine, marking the first time in history North Korean soldiers are fighting in a foreign conflict. But why is this happening now? According to analysts, Kim sees the conflict as an opportunity to strengthen relations with Russia, gain military experience, and, of course, obtain financial, technological, and diplomatic rewards. The troops sent belong to the so-called Storm Corps, a special forces unit known for its high level of training and ideological loyalty to the regime. However, the challenges on the battlefield were immediate and are proving devastating. According to sources close to the Kremlin and Russian operations in Ukraine, in their first engagements, over 100 soldiers were killed and another 1,000 were injured, and among the dead, it is believed there might be even a high-ranking officer. If these numbers are confirmed, we are facing an impressive casualty rate of about 10% in just 1 month of combat. Despite their reputation as an elite unit, North Korean troops face serious limitations in Ukraine. Historically, these forces train for infiltration missions, urban warfare, and operations in the very mountainous terrains found on the Korean peninsula. In Ukraine, however, they encounter a vast, open battlefield dominated by drones and trenches, elements for which they were not prepared. An aggravating factor was the impact of the pandemic. For over 2 years, many of these troops were sent to guard posts on the border with China, thus losing valuable, essential training. All this combined with communication difficulties, as the soldiers received only very basic training in Russian, is further compromising their efficiency in a highly intense battlefield. The presence of North Korean troops in Ukraine also reveals much about Kim Jong-un's strategy. Since assuming absolute power in 2011, Kim has governed with a mix of brutality and pragmatism, consolidating his total control by executing or banishing high-ranking military officials, including relatives, and promoting trusted allies. Two names stand out in the current context: Generals Kim Yong-bok and R. Sang-ho, both with a long history of involvement in military and clandestine activities like smuggling and cybercrime. Their closeness to Kim and participation in Ukraine signal the importance of this conflict to the regime's interests. For the North Korean soldiers, the decision to go to Ukraine is a mix of necessity and opportunity. Practically all of them come from poor families, seeing the possibility of earning a salary, even if most of it is confiscated by the government, as their only chance to slightly improve their lives amidst North Korea's severe and terrible economic crisis. However, the risk is obviously gigantic. For the regime, battlefield casualties are seen positively as an inevitable cost for gaining experience in modern warfare, something considered essential for future conflicts on the Korean peninsula. The families of the deceased can also benefit from this, mainly through gains in social status, a rare privilege in such an unequal system. The alliance between Russia and North Korea has profound implications for global politics. For Russia, the arrival of additional soldiers is a very welcome reinforcement in a prolonged and highly costly conflict, and for North Korea, it's an opportunity to demonstrate loyalty and secure future political and military support. How is the international community reacting to this? Sanctions have already been imposed on the involved generals, and monitoring of this cooperation will certainly increase, but this certainly won't stop Kim and Putin from further deepening this partnership, leaving an important question hanging in the air. What bigger game is Kim playing with such high-risk moves? And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates.